Hello and welcome back to the Spin the Rock podcast. I'm your host Angel, and with me today is my co-host.
Vaughn.
All right. Well, it is that time of year again. March Madness is in full swing. We are in the Elite Eight, and why don't we kind of do a bracket check-in? But before we do that, there's no big news, is there? I don't think so, right?
It's just more speculation on well, not speculation, the proposals for anti-tanking. There's like three proposals,
Yeah,
and they're I feels like none of the ones we talked about. But at the same time, I think we've kind of already aired out our thoughts on tanking.
yeah.
Um,
That and like
so it's
every
kind of
other day, I get a different news like update, quote unquote, that says they officially approved Vegas and Seattle. Like every other day, and it's like, bro,
well, okay. They've approved the bidding for
yeah,
Seattle and Vegas. They technically aren't set into stone that those are going to be expansion teams, but it's like it feels like an eventuality at this point.
it kind of does. Yeah, it's just like every other day, bro. It's like, oh, they're officially coming. It's like, bro, no, not yet. Like y'all keep jumping the gun. Did someone trying to be the first one to break the news, bro? All right.
I
Well,
know.
why don't we get into March Madness and how that's been going? First off, how's your bracket going for you this year, just overall, before we take a deeper look?
Last year around this time, my bracket was basically ruined. I had like one team left in it, but I've impressed myself. I've got like three or four teams still in this race. So
Yeah.
much improved, but I'm a little sad. It's kind of just because I picked the safe choices for the most part. And I kind of hate when March Madness goes that way, where the one seeds or the high seeds are all, in the late game.
No, I
But
felt
at the
that.
same time, yeah, I feel like we're slated for some very good games coming up.
Yeah, no, I agree for sure. So we have both of our brackets here on screen. Just some compare and contrast. First off, I don't know what made me do Capital One, bro. Because if you look at my points, it says 48. Yours says 680. So I don't know how different the point system is for it, but just looking at the two, why don't we look at the east side of things? I am the opposite. So last year, I think I was doing pretty bad last year, if I remember correctly. I think the first round was the only time I did good, and then everything after the first round, it just got worse and worse. This year, I did do a little bit better, but like you mentioned, how this time last year you only had one team in it. Still, I'm in that position. Michigan is the only team I had predicted to still be in the tournament. Everyone else are out, and that happened on Wednesday, bro. Or was it Wednesday? No, Thursday. Thursday's games ruined my fucking bracket. So why don't we take a look at our brackets here, compare and contrast. Our East is looking pretty similar. Um, Duke's. You had Duke being in the Elite Eight. I had Duke losing to St. John's. St. John's ended up losing themselves. It looks like you got the TCU upset. Um, wrong. Yeah, why don't you tell me your thought process for just making your bracket this year?
Like I said, I kind of was just going for the higher seed for the most part, like the ones and twos.
Uh huh.
Those are like 99%, if not 100%. I picked those. And then for like some close seeds like eight and a nine, I would actually look into the stats. Do they have a go-to player? How's the defense looking? How's the offense looking? And it's mainly just comparing like, do I believe this defense is going to slow down their offense? Because sometimes they'll have like similar offensive ratings and stuff.
Mm,
And it did work out for a good chunk of these teams. And then I want to say some of the stuff was just like a shot in the dark. I'm like, you know what? I'm really feeling this team just off vibes.
yeah.
Uh, which I did a lot of that last year. I did cut down on that. this year, but that's just like kind of how I have fun with this bracket. Otherwise, if I'm just like reducing everything to I don't know, like a math problem, I'm like, this is like sports we're talking about. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
kind of sucking the own joy out of it for me if I do it that way. But yeah, that's basically how I did most of my bracket.
you think I would learn? I did the same thing I did last year. Um, I I did a little bit better because I have been keeping up with it now. But this year I did the exact same of pre uh, stereotypes and memes and just things that I'm like, oh yeah, I never see this team, even though I know nothing about their history in the college basketball world. But in my head, they don't do this good. Like, okay, let's see. Can you see both of ours clearly? No, you can't. Um. Oh, I zoomed out way too fucking. Oh my god. If you compare, like for Georgia, I only picked. I don't know why you picked St. Louis. I picked St. Louis because I was like, Georgia never makes it past the first round. That's probably not true at all. But in my head, they never make it past the first round. So that's why I picked St. Louis. And I that was like my mantra for everything, bro. Like Purdue, because I think you have quite a good amount of teams moving forward. Like it looks like here, bro. You got the entire Elite Eight for the East and West side correct, and I got none of it correct except for well, I got Michigan correct. It's the only one I have in the Elite Eight. But like my process, you had Purdue going forward. I thought Purdue. Oh no, you had them losing to BYU. So you were kind of with me because in my head, I'm like Purdue never makes it past the Sweet 16. Like I'm like they never do that. So why would they do it today? And they made it past the Sweet 16.
I wish I remembered why I picked Purdue going that far. I wish I do, but I think that was just a vibes thing.
Yeah, I do. We do have to point out um, the thing that's making this side of the bracket ugly because you would be almost perfect, bro, if it wasn't for BYU. You had BYU going all the
I
way to the championship. What was your thought process behind that?
I'm like, that's Darren Peterson, right? That's going to be a top, top three, top five at least pick in the NBA draft coming up.
Yeah,
And that's how a lot of this was because I'm a Cameron Boozer believer as well. That's why I got Duke going all the way.
true, true.
Difference is Duke's got, a better all around team, whereas, BYU, it really is Darren Peterson and like some guys that show up for some games and then disappear others.
Yeah,
That I wasn't expecting that to happen round one. I just put so much stock into Darren Peterson. I'm like, yeah, I'm really feeling this is a type of run, like a John Morant type run.
yeah,
And it wasn't, unfortunately. Even though Darren Peterson did have like 35 points, he did decent that game. It wasn't even much. There's nothing there. So that's the one hiccup on that side.
yeah, bro. It's crazy. You were almost completely accurate because then you had whoever played Gonzaga winning. So if you just had Texas beating BYU and then Texas beating Gonzaga, you would be like almost completely perfect on this side of things. But that BYU prediction, bro, it really drives you. But it's still like impressive, bro. Like I can't look at this and be like, what a fucking bozo. This is super fucking impressive, bro. Like you had almost every team
Yeah, it's
correct except for Purdue. Like that was the only team you were wrong on. Like that's
yeah, I think
crazy.
it is part of the me playing it safe for the most part. Like obviously there are some like how did you guess that? I'm like I don't know how I guessed it. I probably just looked at the stats. I'm like, "Oh, they got two top scorers are only scoring like 11 a game and 13 a game, whereas their top two scorers are like 20 a game, 15 a game, and then their defense is even better." So that's probably what I was looking at.
Yeah,
Because I don't watch college hoops. I
neither do
don't.
I.
I get knowledge gapped everywhere if we're talking about college hoops. And even this March Madness, I haven't been watching a whole lot of games.
Yeah,
It's been highlights for me for the most part.
yeah,
Um, I see every one of the game winners and the close games. Like I'll watch the last 2 minutes of certain games, but that's as far as I've gone. A lot of this is just luck. Even if I want to toot my own horn and be like, "Oh yeah, I was looking at the stats." Most of them are safe options, to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I can't say here and say I'm not the same. Like, I think I did really good on the second day. The second round, I got a lot of people moving on. Correct. My biggest mistake was trusting Arkansas. I saw that they won the SEC championship, and then I saw like how well they played in that game, and so I had them going all the way. And they lost to Arizona brutally, 109-88. And so my bracket got ruined during the Sweet 16, bro. Um, I think the only one I'm proud of myself for is Texas. I had Texas going pretty far. Um, that's like the one thing I was like right on. Except I again got a little too confident and you know had Texas going pretty far. And then I was like, oh, you know who's also gonna do that? Miami. And then Miami also lost pretty easily against Purdue. So I think like my thing was I kept doing these trends. Like I was like, oh, like UCLA. I had UCLA beating UConn, and I've been watching the games. I've been watching like maybe 2 games a day, uh, except for yesterday. I didn't watch any of those games yesterday. But I watched UCLA and UConn, and I was sitting there so proud of myself, bro. I was sitting there thinking, oh, I'm a fucking mad genius. I'm a fucking like I know ball, even if it's not NBA. I just know ball in general. And they were up in the first half, and then the second half they got slaughtered. And I was like, never mind, bro. I don't know why I do this to myself every year. So
I think the difference between you and me is I'm kind of looking at fresh eyes because I haven't been following much, and the one I did pick was BYU. I'm like, I have preconceived knowledge, and it fucked me over.
yeah,
Um, and then you were kind of, I don't want to say like the red thread going between each team, like this team's gonna be this team. You just knew more, and you knew more context, and that context betrayed you.
yeah, bro. It's just like stereotypes I made in my head. Like, like I don't know if any of what I say is true. you know, maybe Purdue does make it past the Sweet 16 pretty frequently, but in my head they don't. And so that screwed me over. Uh, the difference between our Elite Eight is kind of crazy, bro. I only have Michigan. Michigan's my only team in the competition that I have correctly, by the way. You still have almost everybody. Going on to the other side of things, this is a side that really screwed me over, bro. Um,
Mm.
and it looks like this side was pretty bloody for you, but not as bad. Like not as bad as for me. Um, you had Florida beating Iowa too. Um, you got Iowa Clemson right. You almost got Vanderbilt right, but then you had them beating Nebraska. You also trusted North Carolina, bro. I trusted North Carolina too much. I had them going to the Elite Eight.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I just feel like them losing round one is ridiculous.
yeah, bro.
But that's the beauty of March Madness.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I had like, let's see, if there's any one of us that had it really bad. I do want to point out I had moments of brilliance in this bracket, bro. Like both in the East and the Midwest, I got the like every prediction for the first round correct, and it's like I don't know how it kept falling apart so quickly, bro. like, um, I think I said this before. Like Georgia, I was like, oh yeah, that's an easy upset. Texas Tech, I was like, oh yeah, that's another game. And then Texas Tech, Alabama. This is where my made up stereotypes in my head like betray me. I looked at Texas Tech, Alabama, and I was like, you know what? Texas Tech is spending a lot of money on their sports. They can beat Alabama, and it screwed me over. I was like, you know what?
Yeah,
Iowa State is not a basketball school. They screwed me over because I had them losing like 2 times. I was like, they're lose against Kentucky. Okay, Tennessee's gonna beat Kentucky. No, bro, Iowa State beat all of those people. Or no, I got Tennessee right. Okay, I had Kentucky beating Tennessee, and I was sorely mistaken.
yeah, bro. That's what I was thinking about. UNC is they're a basketball school. They got this. Um, so I think next year, if I could just like erase all knowledge I have about college ball, I'll do even better.
Yeah,
Um, because last year I think I also kind of had my preconceived notions lose me a lot of games, but this one I lucked out, I want to say.
yeah. Um, yeah, bro. You were on a heater, low key, on this side of things. You only messed up with Michigan over Iowa State. Like you had them beating Tennessee, and then Tennessee is the one who moved on. Like that was your one slip up, bro. It's crazy. Like you
Yeah,
were
bro. And that
almost
one
on
slip up
another.
is costing me late game, to be honest.
Yeah,
It
I'm
just had to be there.
I'm glad that we both had the same result on the south side of things, bro. It makes me feel a little bit better that the south side of things ruined our bracket too. I had Florida moving on, beating Nebraska. They lose to Iowa, and then Iowa beats Nebraska. So I was fucking doomed from the start, bro. The second Florida lost, there went my entire brackets. um, and then same thing with Texas A&M. Bro, I don't know why I do this. I was like, Houston. I was like, when was the last time Houston actually lived up to their reputation? And so I had Texas A&M like moving on, and then I had North Carolina beating them because I'm like, but North Carolina is a basketball school, and it just like fell apart. Like that second round destroyed me, bro. No matter what region we're in, that second round absolutely obliterated my bracket.
Oh shit. Oh, I don't think I asked, but who did you have winning it all?
I had Arkansas winning it all
Arkansas.
just because I thought they were
Um,
really good, and I was like, I in my head I kept doing Arkansas would beat this team, and it just like kind of. So I think that's another thing I went wrong is I kept looking at the individual matchups. So like with Florida, I was like Florida would beat them, Florida would beat Iowa, Florida would beat Nebraska, um, Florida would beat North Carolina, St. John's would beat Florida, Arkansas would beat St. John's, Arkansas wins. Like it wasn't like necessarily. I was just doing like individual matchups, and then eventually I was like, okay, I guess I have Arkansas winning.
yeah, I really leaned on the ESPN like well, what was annoying is they had like their betting odds, which I wasn't really looking at. That was a big chunk of like what their predictions went into.
Yeah,
But I
fucking
think they
idiots.
brought up like stats of like certain players and then of the teams. And that was basically my crutch. If I didn't have that, my bracket would be so much more ugly.
Yeah, what's a pick you're very proud of? Like, what's a pick you're like, I can't believe
Uh,
like I'm cooking with this pick.
you gotta scroll in a little bit so I want to say there was one in the first round. It was an upset. Um, where is it? There was one like no one could have guessed, but I got it. It
Is
was a
it
low ass seed.
was it Wisconsin High Point?
Yes, yes. I felt so glad I hit that.
Yeah,
I'm
that's fair.
like, because I thought in the back of my mind I picked Wisconsin. Um, because when I saw the news, High Point beats Wisconsin, I'm like, damn, I wish I had that. Because I think I was getting them confused with VCU. And then I checked my bracket, and that shit hit. And bro, something I felt in my soul. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna hit a pick like that in a while. That's what I did a lot of last year was like, oh, this is gonna be an upset. This is gonna be an upset. That's an upset. I think I got maybe none of them. So the fact I got at least one in there, that's a pat on my back.
Yeah, no, that's fire, bro. Yeah, I don't think I have a single pick that I'm proud of, bro. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, and you know what? Also character growth. I would have rode High Point all the way to like Elite Eight, and I immediately said, no, not this year. They lose the next round to Arkansas.
That's
That's growth,
so
man.
funny. That's
That's my
so
character
funny.
arc.
I guess I would say I'm proud of Texas. Um,
Hmm.
just because I feel like I don't know. I feel like
I mean,
Texas.
you got it, and I didn't. That's like nailed it better than me.
Yeah, I guess like Texas is the only one because I just like feel like, but it's also deceiving. Like when you're a school that big and you have a low seeding, like I still don't see it as upsets. But I was just proud
Yeah,
of
I
it,
guess
bro.
that's
I
a
was
good
just
point.
so proud that they got all the
Mhm.
way to the Elite Eight. I was like, let's go, bro. And I was like, good, let's be Purdue now, boys. And they were so close, bro. They were so close. So, you said you haven't been watching the games. I have low key been
Mhm.
watching like a good amount. But from the highlights, is there anyone that like or any team that stood out to you, or any players or team?
Um, I th oh, it's boring, but I really do love Cameron Boozer from Duke.
Yeah,
That's why I'm writing like Duke so deep into the bracket here.
yeah.
Um, but other than that, like every guy that hits a game winner, I'm like, I that's the first I'm ever hearing of him, really.
That's fair, bro.
So I've been, yeah, super casual this year.
Yeah, so from what I've been watching, one Vanderbilt has a fucking disgusting dude. I think his name is Tyler Tanner or something like that, bro. Let me click on him. Yeah, Tyler Tanner. Um, and the game against Nebraska, I'm pretty sure he had 30 points in the game against Nebraska. Yeah, 27 points, bro, in 38 minutes. Like that's kind of impressive, bro. And I'm pretty sure he has some form of
Yeah,
record.
that's
But yeah, he's someone I really been fucking with. Nebraska, I was actually having really fun watching them because it was just like a bunch of white boys who could shoot. Like at one point, their starting five was all white, like white boys, and all of them were just raining it down from three. And I'm like, see, this is what I picture college ball to be like, bro. It's just like little quirks like this.
yeah, I everyone that can shoot and is kind of crazy. I think in my head for college ball, because I always think it's like a little old-fashioned, team-oriented, defense first type of basketball.
Yeah,
Um, that sounds very NBA, but at the same time, if you're losing to that team in college ball, that probably stings.
yeah, bro. And almost beat Iowa, bro. Towards the end of the second half, though, Iowa kept pulling away. That was like a big shock to me, like how good Iowa is. Cause like I don't think Iowa basketball at all. Even though like I'm sure like they're somewhat known for it, but in my head I'm like, who the fuck cares about Iowa basketball? Um, and then another thing that like I caught me off guard was this is gonna be a hot take. I forget how bad the basketball really is. Like I
Oh
forget
yeah.
Like does like I feel like in college football, because that's like my second sport. It's NBA basketball, and then college football is like right behind it. And like you watch college football, or at least when I watch college football, I see guys who can legitimately be stars, and I see teams who are like, this team is like, I see skill, like, I see good like football. When I watch college basketball, there's times where I'm like, how are these guys ever make it in the league, bro? Like, no wonder there's a unanimous number one pick almost every year, bro. Like, because the skill level difference is crazy. I was watching UCLA UConn. There was like a point where like it was 10 to like 0 or 3, and they like been playing for like 5 minutes, and it was just like brick after brick after turnover after bad shot. Like it was just like, what am I watching right now? The the
Uh,
um the final minutes of Florida Iowa, Xavier Lee, who I think he's a pretty popular college basketball player because I know him. So he has to be either somewhat good or somewhat infamous. Florida inbounds the ball to him, and this man does the most brain dead play I've ever seen. 7 seconds left on the clock, or maybe even six. He runs down the baseline, and then he tries to like do like a pass to the center. But like, you have 6 seconds. Why are you trying to rush it, bro? Like he's had like five Iowa players on him, and he's tried to force a pass, and they just suffocated him, and he ran out the clock. And I'm like, you could have like passed it around a little bit. You could have, you know, shot a midi. No, bro. This man tried to do a Steve Nash play with 6 seconds left on the clock, bro.
yeah, I think that's just inevitable because
Yeah.
I don't know how old that player is, but you get, your 18-year-olds thrown out there with the 22-year-olds, the lifers, who have been there all 4 years.
Yeah.
Um, and it is like a little, so sometimes you just get, I don't want to say a garbage game, but the game will end and it's like 58 and the other team's got, reached 100 points, which kind of just feels like high school ball in some ways.
Yeah.
Um, that's that's so funny.
Yeah, bro. I just like forget the skill level is like so much bigger in basketball. And I feel like most people, like fans of other sports, would try to disagree with me. But like, I don't know, bro. The skill gap is just so huge in basketball. Whereas like in other sports like football, you have guys who are instant stars. Uh, you know,
Mhm.
and it happens in basketball too. But I feel like you have like there's guys who can easily make that transition like pretty heavily in football. Whereas like in basketball, like you look at rookie classes and there's sometimes only two guys who can really actually stick around for a long time. And then like and like watching that, sometimes I'm like, this is why I can't get into it. Like it makes me angry, bro. And I want to get into college basketball so much more. I want to be able to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm a fucking CU fan, and I love CU basketball, and I love college basketball, and I know who's the best players and teams right now. And then I sit down and watch a regular season games are even worse. And then like it makes me so angry that we're on the national stage and guys are making these kind of makes. But you're right, bro. Like they're 18, 19 years old, like fresh out of high school.
Um, I do want to bring up a name, Darius Acuff Jr. I didn't know who he was until the tournament started, and
Mm,
then he did not put up one bad performance. From Arkansas, yeah, Arkansas.
mm,
Um, and I feel confident that's a guy whose draft stock for the NBA rose during the tournament. Um, and I didn't really pick a whole lot of guys like that from this tournament. Even last year, I didn't really, pick apart new guys. I feel like I'm a bad eye for when it turns, college ball hoopers into NBA stars. Because
yeah.
I thought when Virginia was won all those years ago, I thought Kyle Guy was going to be like a great 3-point shooter in the league, and he was on the Sacramento Kings for a year and then gone. Um, So I hope Darius Acuff Jr. hits in the NBA.
Yeah, bro. I wish I used to have a pretty decent eye. I feel like I used to be on top of rookies who would do good and shit like that. I don't have it anymore, bro. I really don't have that touch. You know, like um, who did I pick last year for my rookies? I think I had the Kings rookie. I thought he was gonna instantly make the team a somewhat better. No, bro, he's been a non-factor all season. Like it's been rough, bro. And so I sit here and I watch. Like I think Tyler Tanner is gonna be like one of the best guards we see in a while. But like I don't know, my eye has gotten so bad, and it's just like such a different game too. Like no one, you can't really say it's 1-to-1. I have a little bit more
Oh yeah,
respect for
like
scouts.
it's low key like well, we know how offensive oriented the NBA is and how those foul calls come and go as they
Yeah,
please, where it's just a little more. Well, first of all, I don't think guys have that touch in college, really. They don't really develop that until getting to the NBA because it is such a different game. Like the refs do, you know, do honestly A get fooled and B are more lenient on the offensive end.
yeah,
Where you're not getting that in college.
yeah. True. No, that's fair. And like, it's also knowing the difference. You know, like in college, like you said, it's very team oriented. It's very pass the ball around. It's also just like such a different pace too. Like, and so I have respect for people who have good eyes and be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be something, bro. Because I feel like after watching a lot more March Madness this year, because last year I didn't watch that much. Like I maybe watch a couple games here and there. Um, this year I watched a lot more, and I feel like because I watched a lot more, I realize how bad of an eye I truly do have. I just was like sitting there thinking like, damn, bro, I can't really tell which one of these guys are gonna actually do good in the NBA. Like every time I see a guy do good, I'm like, oh shit, he might do something, and then in the following game, he either has a bad performance or he keeps making mistakes that I know NBA teams won't like. So I'm like, I guess I was instantly proven wrong. All right.
Um, yeah, I kind of now that I'm looking at my bracket, I'm like, damn, I could have done better. Um, I know you were saying like, oh, you hit all these. No, there were some ones I was kind of on the fence of. I'm like, if I maybe took 1 minute longer, because I only spent about 1 minute on each team. Like, oh, this person
Oh yeah,
is
I did
enough
not
to
expect
carry,
that.
or yeah, if I had like taken notes, I feel like I could have hit a little more. And now I'm a little disappointed with myself. If Duke doesn't make it to the championship game, I'm hitting my shins with a club. That's how beat up I'll be over.
That's so funny, dude. No, but like, come on, dude. Like, you got almost the entire Elite Eight, like, for the other half of the bracket, right? BYU just let you
No, bro,
down,
this is a
bro.
pathetic. They did. My biggest hiccup. This is a pathetic bracket. If anyone was pleased with themselves on this, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah, bro. I just, I just don't spend any time, and I need to from now on. I just kind of fucking speed run it. Like, I just this team, this team, this team,
Oh,
this team.
I did mine like the night before they started, so that was kind of what was my reason for speed running. Is because I'm like, oh, I got to get this done before it starts tomorrow.
Yeah, that's
My
fair.
mistake. But I feel like that's not uncommon.
Yeah, no, I did mine the morning of, bro, at work.
Oh my god.
Like games were about to start, and I was like, let me just do one because I wasn't gonna do one at first, and I was like, oh shit, we gotta do one for Spin the Rock at least because my work had one, and my work was like, guys, like submit your brackets, and I was like, I don't really want to do that, and then like I was sitting there, I was like, oh shit, I gotta do one for Spin the Rock at least. And so it wasn't because I was like I
Yeah.
wasn't like also doing it like I guess I'll do it. It was more so like oh shit yeah I'll do one after all. But I just feel like I need to take my time, bro. I just like I did this last year. It didn't pan out with me. I don't know why I did it again this year. But I was just like, I'm sure I can like get a gist of these teams just by looking at their Google results, their Reddit forums.
Yeah.
Like
I think
I can figure it out.
I think what will happen is we're gonna have a flip flop where my bracket, maybe I do good one round, but I get ripped apart the rest, and then you might come through. You might have the better bracket.
Maybe one
Something
day.
about it just tells me because I'm probably gonna do the same thing next year where I'm not really looking up teams, except I don't get lucky like I did this year, and that's my downfall. Versus like you already got knowledge, maybe even more knowledge, if you get more into college ball,
Maybe,
and
bro.
then that's
Maybe.
that's how you win.
Do you think March Madness is getting more predictable?
Yes, last 2 years, like, oh, the better team won, or the heavily favored team won. That's just been the vibe for the last 2 years. I kind of miss when it was Cinderella run because we don't really have like a true Cinderella run going on right now, Or I felt like maybe we even got spoiled with the 16 seed beat the 1 seed the first time in however many years. That is rare, but like it just feels like none of that is happening really. That's why I was so glad about my High Point pick. I'm like, good for them. But I would rather be wrong and High Point maybe gone further into the tournament than I be right and my bracket looks a little nicer.
Yeah, bro. I I feel like last year was a little bit worse. I feel like this year it got a little bit better. Like it wasn't as obvious, but at the same time, like it is like a little too easy now, bro. Like realistically,
Yeah.
if someone picked a high seed for every single game this year, they probably would have had a pretty decent bracket. Whereas when we were in school, you know, when we were in high school, middle school, whatever it may have been, you know, during the golden era of these type of March Madness runs, if you picked a high seed for every single game, you would have a pretty ugly bracket, bro. Whereas like now, bro, it's just like you can pretty like those sides I got perfect. They were not really any upsides, you know, like upsets. Like
Yeah.
none of my picks. I don't think I picked a single upset except for Texas. But again, like if you're a school like Texas, does that 11 seed really mean as much? Like if that 11 seed
Well, to
was
me, I'm like, sure, yeah. Like I don't know shit. But then you were saying like big school, it's like a fraudulent lower seed or whatever.
yeah, bro, it is. It is, bro. Like Texas is like a fucking one of the largest schools in the country. Like they could be fucking 15 seed for all I care. Like they're fucking they're spending so much money on their programs. Like they could have just had a bad season. It doesn't mean their players are bad. Like I think teams like High Point, you know, High Point could have had a fucking second seed. You know, nobody would have actually picked High Point to beat Wisconsin. You know.
Yeah, and we may have touched on this last year, but do you think it's NIL the reason why, this is becoming more and more the case, or is it just like the exception these last 2 years?
I think I don't know too much about the politics of college basketball to answer that because I feel like NIL is low key leveling the playing field. Like St. John's probably had more of a chance. Like that's 2 years in a row where people thought they could actually win it all, and that's
Mhm.
most likely because of NIL. Like let's be honest here, bro. Like would have anyone picked St. John's to beat Duke like 3 years, 4 or 5 years ago? like during the COVID era or us in high school. Like no, bro. Like but now with NIL, they have a chance, and like it's in college football too, where the SEC isn't running college football anymore because now everybody can play their players. Um, I
Hmm.
think what's ruining it is most likely, and I don't know how bad the transfer portal is for basketball, but if the transfer portal is any as bad in college basketball as it is college football, I think that might be the reason why it's mostly one seeds. Because now in college football, what's happening is that these smaller schools, which are still pretty big, are just more of a farming program for these bigger schools. You know, like
Yeah.
you can like just poach these guys now and just like find these hidden gems. Whereas in the past, you know, look at John Morant's run. If John Morant had that run he did last like this time around and he stayed in let's say he stayed in college, Alabama, Michigan, they could just scoop him up the next year, you know? Like
Yeah.
that's I feel like that's probably what's making the high seeds win a lot more easily is because these low seeds don't have these gems anymore. They get poached so quickly. Like Xavier Lee, he didn't play for Florida last year. I forgot who he played for. Um, but he got scooped up by Florida, and they were the one seed, and like were predicted to win it all. Like, and the only reason why they didn't win is because of a mistake at the end of the game. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, I think the transfer portal needs a little bit more restrictions.
Like, would it be? Oh, I don't even know what restrictions they could put into place
Yeah, I don't think
that would
anyone
do anything.
does. I don't think anyone does, bro. Cause like you know, it's like okay, we need to fix the transfer portal, but how? The old way was bad because schools can be like, no, you're stuck here forever, even though we know we're not gonna play you. The new way is bad because you have guys who are on a different team every like year. You know, um, you have guys who are
Yeah.
transferring like almost every single time to get a chance. So it's just like, where's the middle ground to where the players can still have the power to play where they want to play, but also stop these big schools from abusing and just treating these smaller programs as a fucking youth academy. you know, like
Mhm. Well, I'm like thinking of ideas, but then some of it is like operating like as if they were like a sports league like the NBA. I'm like, that's probably not the way to run. These are
yeah,
athletes going to school,
yeah,
completely different thing. So yeah, I got no. I wish I had an input or an addition or a suggestion. But
yeah.
I like I said, I get knowledge gap when it comes to college sports.
Yeah, I think I wish I also because I follow college football pretty heavily. I follow like all the politics pretty heavily, but when I think a lot of people are lost on how to fix the transfer portal. You know, and I think NIL is NIL is making it seem like it's like it's like the fucking tanking situation that the NBA is going through right now. Like people are using tanking as a way to hide a bigger problem. And I think NIL is the same way with college
Yeah.
sports, where people are blaming solely NIL and are talking about we need to fix NIL and blah blah blah. And like yeah, NIL is somewhat of a problem. Like yeah, it is kind of shitty that like players are straight up violating contracts because like realistically, you know, they're student athletes who don't know any better and you or either the contracts are just super messy because you're just kind of throwing money at this 18-year-old with no real it's an 18-year-old and you're trying to get him to sign a contract and you're going to pay him like $2 million to play for your school, whereas in reality yes NIL is a problem but the transfer portal is an even bigger problem, but everyone's so focused on NIL that like most people don't even think twice about the transfer. Like I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have even considered the transfer portal was a problem if I didn't bring it up.
No, like I wasn't. It wasn't on my radar really at all. So I'm glad you
Exactly,
put that
bro.
up.
Exactly. I feel like it's like the tanking thing is like tanking. The only reason why they care about tanking right now is because of the gambling companies, and they're just using tanking as a
Yeah.
way to hide a bigger problem with players resting and shit like that. It's like no, bro. Like let's be fucking honest here. Like tanking is not that big of a deal.
Yeah, and like what's slated for the NBA is they got these decisions, and those could have consequences we're not even really considering and could change the game or even certain franchises for the worse long term. So I don't even want to know like what proposed solutions in college ball would affect,
Yeah.
athletes and then schools themselves and all that.
Yeah, it's like such a bigger scale. Like the NBA is a big scale, but more it's so contained. Whereas like you don't fix the transfer portal or NIL for one sport. Like that's not how it works. Like it's like
Yeah, yeah.
every sport, any decision you make is gonna be affected by it, bro. Like my wife follows softball, and NIL right now is kind of a problem in softball because Texas Tech has so much oil money that they just keep throwing money at players. And they went from like a pretty decent softball school to like a powerhouse in like 2 years. And she hates the transfer portal too. But like, it's just like
Mhm.
that's like what I'm saying. It's like in college basketball or college football or softball, baseball, whatever may be the case, this isn't just like, oh, we fixed tanking, now the NBA doesn't have a problem anymore. And it's like, oh, here's this new transfer portal rule. Oh shit, now water polo has a fucking huge issue. Like, like now water polo is falling apart because of our new transfer portal rule. Yeah, so it is kind of disappointing to see not as many upsets, but I feel like at the same time, as someone who didn't really watch college basketball, it is making those upset moments feel a little bit more special again because there was a period of time where everything was a quote unquote upset, and every year there was like, oh my god, fucking this 6 seed got upsetted by this 10 seed, and it's like, bro, is that really an upset? Like,
Yeah, that's fair
whereas
enough.
whereas High Point being Wisconsin is like an actual big fucking deal.
It always will be. In my heart of hearts, it always will be.
All right. Well, does this make you? I think we asked this question last year, but since this is our second year in a row, does this like have you sat there at all once this March Madness season thinking like maybe I should get into college basketball? Like your success in your bracket has that maybe clouded your head at all?
I think it worries me that I'll go into next season overconfident and I'll end up like looking up literally nothing for next season. Uh, that'd be my one worry. But as far as like wanting to get into college, anything, any sport ever, I feel like is a hard investment because I feel like it's hard to keep up with professional sports,
Yeah.
and there's just so much more when
Yeah.
it comes to college sports. It's not just all of these teams. It's you got divisions and maybe you got to watch out for a guy, going from Division 2 to Division 3 or whatever.
Coach bidding
And
wars,
then,
bro.
like the coach bidding wars are crazy. And then, like you said, the transfer portal. I don't think I believe in myself to keep up with it. Um, I think I would get burnt out pretty easily.
Yeah.
If I were to do anything, I would have to pick like maybe 3 teams I would strictly follow. I don't know what team I'd be super interested to even commit to that.
Yeah, bro, that's fair. That's fair. It's I feel like it's also even harder for you as well because like you don't really have a tie to colleges, like like
Yeah, it's like I never committed to, having even like if I lived by one, which like I do, like I remember Saint Bonaventure was in the tournament once. I really didn't care. So
that's fair.
that's that's as far as that goes for me.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, see, I attach myself to CU because of my wife, and I live by it. Well,
Mm.
not by it, but like you know, like see, I like you can go to CU parties and shit like that. Like that was what like the smaller schools did was go to parties in CU, and so like
Yeah.
I had a school to attach myself to, but I couldn't imagine if like me and my wife graduated from our small ass school and I decided to watch college football. I don't know who I would pick, bro. Colorado has like three teams. They have Air Force, CSU, and CU. Like, who would I root for? I don't necessarily live by any of those schools anymore. So, like,
Yeah, yeah.
there's not really a team I could have attached myself to. So, I feel like that could be, a pretty big uh, gate that most people feel like they don't really think is a problem. I want to get into college basketball, and I say this every fucking year. Like last year, I made a promise to myself that I would watch the regular season, and then I didn't watch a single fucking game. Um, I've been watching a lot of games this March Madness, but I'm not gonna lie, bro. It's making me excited, but like I know that by the time October rolls around or whatever it's when it starts, I think it starts like a month earlier. Um, Whenever it starts, I'm gonna be so far removed from the March Madness hype that I'm just gonna be like, like I don't really
Yeah.
care. And then it's gonna happen again next year where I make a bracket, I watch as many games as I can, and I sit in this same chair looking at your face, going, "I think I'm gonna get into it." like, like it's just,
Yeah.
I'm kind of with you where it's like it's such a big taking, and it doesn't help that like college sports start around the same time as like NBA, and NBA is my favorite sport. College football is already happening
Mm.
around the same time as NBA. That if I throw college basketball in there, I'll be watching three sports in the span of 3 months, bro. Like I can't do that to myself. Like I don't have the dedication.
Yeah, I think, you know, by the time the next season rolls around, it's just going to be business as usual for me, where I'll be interested in college sports as far as it is in relation to the NBA. That's just kind of how it's always been.
Yeah.
There are different years where I'll get more invested and like I hear something about a college player that has all this hype, like a Zion Williamson or whatnot. And then maybe I'll tune into more games, usually that way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't see myself getting fully invested like some people are. Like some people do insist that college ball is better than and like professional basketball,
Yeah.
which I think that's a little crazy, but it is fun. It is
College
fun in
ball
its
rules.
own different way.
Yeah, bro. I feel like, and you know what sucks for college basketball is that their argument used to be you have the same team, you get attached to these players, they don't leave, they don't get traded. Welcome to our lives, college basketball fans. Welcome to getting attached to that one niche player that did good every now and then just for them to get the boot the next year, bro. Welcome. Because,
Yeah.
like, come on, bro. Like, I have my boss is a purely college sports except for baseball. Like he cares about college football, and then when college football season's over, he goes headfirst into college basketball. But then when like that ends, he then watches baseball. And I asked him why he doesn't watch, and he's just I think he said it's more exciting. And I agree with college football; it is more exciting. College basketball is not more exciting than the NBA, bro. You have guys who are 7'9" and are still moving like the milkmen from the 1960s, bro. Like, how is college bigs not evolved yet, bro? How are they still playing the same way of big games as they did 10, 20 years ago, bro?
I wish I remembered the guy's name, but he's like an actual big guy. Like height, not so much. Width, yes. And he plays kind of like Jokic, but for like the basketball equivalent. I wish I knew what his name was right now. But
Was
like
is he
I wish there was more. Is he what?
are you talking about Kareem? Kareem Abdul Jabbar? Milk Chamberlain?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Is
yeah.
that who you're talking
Yes.
about?
Um, I believe so because I'm like, we don't get a like unique build player in college ball all that often, and that's just kind of fun to see. But I wish like there was more of that because it feels like every program is trying to just fulfill the role like of a guy they lost either to transfer or maybe he just aged out or whatever. It just feels like they're kind of looking for the same thing over and over.
Yeah, so his name is Robbie Alvia, and he played for Indiana State. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Nerd, Milt Chamberlain. So is that who you're talking about?
Yeah, that's that man. Yep.
Yeah, that's so funny, bro. Yeah, I do. I agree with you. It does seem like, if I am understanding your point correctly, it does seem like college hoops, they don't really try to differentiate themselves, be unique. Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he played for Michigan State. Okay. Yeah, like they don't really take chances. That's why I like Nebraska, because like they were a pretty 3 point heavy team for a college basketball team. And I was like, okay, like I'm a CU
Mhm.
fan. I hate Nebraska's guts, but I liked watching them play because every team plays the same way. Um, but then you have guys like um, the Florida 7-9 player who literally plays like fucking who literally plays like old DeAndre Jordan, bro, who just kind of stood there and did put back rebounds. And, like, there's no way we should be having big men still playing like that in 2026. Like, Kareem Abdul Jabbar got cooked when they moved on, bro. Like, they got absolutely demolished by UConn.
Hmm.
Like, I think it was UConn that demolished them. I don't know, but he didn't play that well, and it's because he was kind of like a classic big man. Zach Eady, people were hyping him up. Oh, Purdue, they have this big man. He's gonna be like the next big thing. The Grizzlies drafting him. Oh, he's gonna be so good. That man is stuck in the early 2000s, getting cooked by every sort of big who can dribble the ball just a little bit better than him, bro. And it's like,
Hmm.
I feel like they're so far behind, and I can't believe people say it's more exciting. But that's not what we're here for. We're not here to shit on college basketball. Because I am having fun watching games. Like I am watching like a lot of good games, and some games are really fun to watch. Like Nebraska Iowa was a good game to watch. Uh, Florida Iowa was actually kind of fun. But then like at the same time, I had UConn, UCLA. I watched Arizona, Arkansas because I had Arkansas winning it all, and Arkansas went cold. And I feel like it's just like I can't keep doing this to myself, and that's why when regular season rolls around, I'm like, what's the point?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel that.
All right. Any last thoughts? Anything else you want to bring up?
I feel like we hit a lot just about college ball in general, so I'm kind of glad what we covered today.
Yeah, yeah, we did kind of cover a lot. I wish Eugene was here because, again, he's usually our college basketball guy, but I think even he admitted in our group chat that he low key hasn't been watching this season. So, you know,
Hmm.
shout out to him though, because last year he cooked us in the brackets. I don't know if he's doing good
Oh
this year
my
though.
God. Yeah, last year it was like he dwarfed us by like round two. I'm like, maybe if I hit every single team correct on my bracket, I could beat him. And then obviously that didn't happen.
It's just crazy. That was an infamous run by him. But all right. That's all we have for you today. Let us know in the comments what you are thinking about March Madness and who you have winning and how your brackets are doing. Let us know your opinions on college basketball versus NBA basketball. If you think we're in the complete wrong or if you agree with us. We once again are moving to every other week, so we won't see you again next week, but the week after that we'll have a new episode for you. So make sure you like and subscribe over on YouTube for that video format. We're also on all podcast platforms. For make sure you subscribe, give us that good old 5 stars. We're also on all social media platforms as well as Spin the Rock. So follow there for clips, episode updates, and all that good stuff. Once again, thank you for watching, listening, and we'll see you again soon.